Many of us are paying closer attention to where our groceries are coming from and goods are made these days. Here to help us understand the difference between made in and product of Canada is Nicole Byrom, registered dietitian with Fresh Start Nutrition. Thanks for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yes, I think all of us are wondering what's made where, what, who, as we go through and retailers are trying to help out by signaling things.
They are.
But when you read the labels, there's a lot, and it's all different for food, clothing, etc.
Yes,
by the way, right?
It is, definitely, and there's a lot of mixed messages out there about that.
Right. Okay, well, we're going to stick to food.
Yeah, so let's talk about food today, and the people are trying to shop Canadian, but it can be difficult because the rules and regulations can feel confusing. So I thought we'd break it down a little bit today.
Awesome.
So let's start by talking about Product of Canada and Made in Canada. So Product of Canada is the most Canadian label that you can find. So what Product of Canada is, by definition, is when the processing labor and all significant ingredients are Canadian to a tune of 98% or more. Okay, so when you're looking for Product of Canada, for example, you can see these potatoes, it says right on there, Product of Canada. So we can see it's written, I've underlined it, so it's fairly clear. So same with this, sometimes when you're looking at a packaged product, you want to flip it over and look on the back near the ingredients list, and then you can see Product of Canada there as well. So sometimes it's not always quite so clearly written on the front, but it can be on the back of the thing. And it is a voluntary statement, so it doesn't have to be there.
Oh, really?
But a lot of products now are putting it on as a selling feature.
Well, it is absolutely
a
selling feature now.
And in comparison to Product of Canada, we have Made in Canada. And so what Made of Canada means is the final transformation of the product happened here in Canada.
Oh.
It's always followed by a qualifying statement. So Made in Canada with imported ingredients, or Made in Canada with domestic and imported ingredients. So for example, this bread, flour may have been imported, but the bread was made here. The crispy minis, the rice may be imported, but the crispy minis were made here. So what this means is the food was made here, but imported ingredients might have been part of it. So not quite as high, in Canadian as Product of Canada, but it is still very Canadian value added. So between Made in Canada and Product of Canada, both of them are good choices for supporting Canadian.
Okay, and I see you have this one circled here.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a little bit of a different... let's angle it towards that camera. Let's see, can we see it there? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one, it just has a...
So there's the maple leaf there, but then it says Made in Canada with imported and domestic ingredients.
Okay, this one's very detailed.
Yes, it is.
And it says by BC, so we like that one really.
Yeah.
Okay, that's got everything.
And I always say, bring your glasses. Remember to bring your glasses to the grocery store now, because I can't read anything right now.
That is very tiny. I'm going to need mine too. I know. Pack those and put them on. Okay.
So then we throw in a spattering of other claims that are on products, which can be a bit confusing as well. But I want to remind everybody that here in Canada, we're really lucky, because Canada, we've got both Health Canada and the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, and both of these organizations regulate our labels and make sure that they're truthful. So labels here in Canada have to be truthful, clear, and not misleading. There can be nothing written on a label that isn't accurate. So we're really lucky. So things like popped in Canada, bottled in Canada, refined in Canada, packaged in Canada. What these are is they don't hold the clout of a Made in Canada or a Product of Canada, but it tells you the Canadian value that's added to the product. So there's been a Canadian contribution. So again, informed consumers can make choices as to what they want to purchase.
Okay. And I didn't even know there were all these other
There's lots of them. There are lots of them, but they have to be truthful.
Okay.
And then I really wanted to specifically speak about dairy.
Okay.
Because dairy is an important one. And when you're shopping for dairy, what I want everybody to look for, and I'm going to pick this one up and show us the Dairy Farmers of Canada logo.
Right, I think we've all seen that one.
Yeah, so this blue label, it can be black, but this label signifies, can we see that there? That this dairy is 100% Canadian dairy.
Oh.
So that Dairy Farmers of Canada means 100% dairy, and this is important for a couple of reasons. Number one, we want to shop Canadian, but number two, in 2020, Canada opened our doors to allow for more American dairy to be sold on our shelves. Canadian dairy and American dairy have different rules and regulations. So here in Canada, our dairy is not allowed to have any antibiotic residue in the final product, no preservatives or additives, and especially no growth hormones can be given to dairy cattle here in Canada. In the U.S., they can give recombinant bovine growth hormone to their cattle for dairy. We're not allowed to here. We have really strict regs about that. So it's really important for consumers to make informed choices about what foods they want to put in their bodies. So we're looking for that Dairy Farmers of Canada blue logo.
Okay. Or like you said, sometimes it shows.
Or sometimes
black.
it shows in black, and that's
that
on
one,
this
this
one
one?
here, yeah. But a lot of the dairy that we've got in Canada, you will find that blue logo.
Okay.
And on surprising products, like this one, I found it as well. So, but as you said, grocery stores are really trying to support us. They're putting maple leaves and Product of Canada and Made of Canada in the aisles. And also we're finding apps that are popping up that you can scan a label and find out how Canadian the product is. So there's lots of support out there to shop Canadian and support the Canadian industry.
Thank you for reminding me of that, because Andrewa, our Consumer Matters reporter here, she actually did highlight some of those apps. So you can
awesome.
go onto our website and look up Andrewa, and you can get some more information on those apps as well to help you out, because this can all be very overwhelming.
Yes, it can. It can.
Well, thank you for detailing it and breaking it down. So made in and product of are the top tier.
The top tier, and then the Canadian the Canadian value added ones. Yeah.
Well, do the best you can out there.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Nice to see you. Nicole Byrom with Fresh Start Nutrition.
Thanks so much.